is going on, everybody? Wild Dofa here, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video, and as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about public match classes and what I like to use to get the best results. Now, first off, I want to apologize for no face cam. You know, normally I do this, and I was going to do this video as a live commentary, but I just ended up getting the perfect gameplay while I was warming up before I started recording with the face cam on, so I decided just to use it and do the voiceover, and, you know, it'll still be good. You know, I'm still going to get the same content out of there, and it'll probably be better this way anyway. So, first off, as you can see by the picture on the screen, this is the class that I'm currently using. I'm using the Bal Obsidian Steed. Now, I know people don't like to use variant weapons in public matches because, you know, they're overpowered or whatever, but if you're trying to get the best results, you want to use the variant weapons, and the Obsidian Steed is the best Bal in the game, so I always use it. Now, the class I'm going to tell you is basically the same thing that I use for any gun, really. I just swap it out based on, you know, if I use an ASM1, I use everything the same except for the gun, obviously. Now, first off, what we're going to talk about is the gun. I use the Bal Obsidian Steed, and as you can see, my attachments are stock, foregrip, and quick draw. These are the perfect set of attachments for me. You know, it may vary for you. It really doesn't matter. The attachments don't really matter as much for the overall skill or whatever you could say, but you know, just whatever's comfortable for you. For me, it's just the foregrip. I need the stock because that way I can move around and get those close range gunfights, and also the quick draw helps me up close as well. So we're gonna move on to the perk 1. I always use low profile because people in pubs like to use streaks, like to use UAVs. Like I got the LeBron on screen. That's what I call this UAV. And you know, I just like to use low profile because it'll block me off the radar, and I don't have to worry about it when the enemy gets kill streaks in the air. I'm always safe. So for my perk 2, I always run fast hands, no ifs, ands, or buts. Sometimes I'll use gung ho, but really it's kind of up in the air. I don't really use it too much. So fast hands is basically the way to go for me. Now we're going to jump down to the perk 3. Now perk 3 is one of the most important things. You need to run this perk 3 greed, the wild card, because you always want to have toughness and glass suppressor on in public matches. Sometimes you want to throw hardwire on, but most of the time I don't use hardwire just because it's pubs. Who cares if they stun your EMP? You know, you're gonna be all right. And also, I forgot to mention with the main gun is I use a wild card. I use a primary gunfire to use 3 attachments. I don't remember if I said that or not, but yeah, I use 3 attachments. Now, the EXO ability, always gotta use the EXO overclock. You know, getting to point A to point B as fast as possible is the most important thing in my book. You know, I like to move around the map all crazily, if that's even a word. I like to move around the map very quickly, and I always just pop on my overclock as soon as I spawn. It's just a force of habit. As soon as I spawn, I hit LB and I'm on my way. I normally pull out my knife and it's all good. So now what I'm going to be talking about is score streaks. Now, I know in competitive, if that's what game types you guys like to play as a competitive, you don't use streaks, but in public matches, I'm just trying to have fun. As you can see, I just got my assault drone. I also have my UAV. Now, the UAV is one of my favorite things. I run 2 of the bonuses on it, I guess you could say, whatever they're called. I run the threat detection, and I run support. So it costs 1,000 points to get, but I normally get, you know, 5 or 6 of these a hard point game. You know, they're not hard to get, especially with the support. And when you do get them, they're just so overpowered. Now, you can just see, like, whenever they'll pop up on my screen, as I'm just hopping around, just going all over the map, you know, they just light up, everybody lights up red, you know, unless they have low profile on. And it just helps out so much in just anything. And that always helps me get to my assault drone, which is what I'm going to talk about next. I love the aerial assault drone, one of my favorite things in the game, and what I use on it, it costs 850 points. I use the AI control, so it flies around automatically, and then I use the rockets. You need the rockets because the rockets just destroy everything in sight. I know this assault drone didn't do too well in this actual clip, but you know, it was just the thought that counts. No one's going to run near that assault drone, and I think a lot of these players are using low profile. So overall, that's going to wrap it up for me. I gave you an overview of my class that I use all the time. I try to go in depth as possible. If you guys have any other questions about classes, you can drop it down in the comments below. I'll answer. You know, if you think, oh, what about using this perk instead of this perk, just let me know, and I'll let you know what I think. And also be sure to just like the video because if you enjoyed it, you know, I'm just trying to help you guys out. One video at a time. Let's all get better together. And yeah, that's basically gonna do it. So like I said, I always like to use the variant weapons if and when possible. And, you know, the score streaks, I love my score streaks. Although they're not as powerful in this game, you know, there's that assault drone still does work. So, that's all for me today. This is Wild Dove, remind you all to run wild, and I'm going to let this video run out so you guys can see my score, because I know people like to see the scoreboard of people when they play and whatnot. So I'll let you guys see that, and then I'll end the video. So as always, this is Wild Dove, remind you all to run wild. Let's see what I went. I honestly forget. I went 47 and 14, 9 captures, carrying the team to victory. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with future content, and I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.